Hi, I'm Chef Bruce Brown, and I'm excited to share some great recipes with you today. Here at Bruce's Fabulous Foods in Marion, North Carolina, we prepare some of the most exciting dishes in the Southeast. My passion is wholesome, tasty, fresh-cooked foods using only the finest local ingredients. Today, we're starting out at Ingles to get the ingredients to make my San Antonio Caviar. For a full list of all the ingredients, check out the shopping list underneath the video player. You can print a list and take it with you, or pull it up on your phone while you're at the store. Now come on, let's get cooking. Are you gonna be having a party, maybe having some guests over? Well, of course, everybody does these days. So I'll tell you what, I've got a San Antonio Caviar dip for you just for your next party. So let's start with black-eyed peas. Now this is a cold recipe, so it's real simple, but 2 cups of cooked black-eyed peas drained, 2 cups of black beans drained, 2 cups of corn. Now you can use a canned corn if you like, or if you have some frozen corn in your freezer, make sure it's thawed, but 2 cups of corn, dumping all these ingredients in together, 1.5 cups of diced red onion. Now I like the red onion for this one. It's a little bit milder, but it also provides another color. You know, the more color you bring to the table, the better the recipe is. This amounts to about 2 large avocados or 3 medium size that I have just peeled and diced into small bite-sized chunks. Put those in there. And we're going to start getting this stuff mixed together just like this. 2 cups of diced tomatoes. Now if you have fresh tomatoes out of your garden, by all means use those. If you're purchasing tomatoes, I personally like to purchase some Roma tomatoes. They're a little bit less juice than the regular like beefsteak tomatoes and garden tomatoes, and with the less juice, it doesn't water down your dressing as much. So therefore, get this all started moving in, and of course, I mean, you can't have anything from San Antonio without some garlic. So I've got about 8 cloves. Get all that in there. Got about 8 cloves of garlic that I minced up, and fresh cilantro. Cilantro is a wonderful herb that is available now at all the stores. You just get about 1 cup of it, coarsely diced up and minced up. Get those all mixed in together. If you have a little bit of the stems, it's not going to bother that much unless you don't like them. You can take them out, but they have just as much flavor as the leaves. And what we're going to do is we're going to set that off on the side, because next is the dressing. So in a large measuring cup or whatever kind of bowl or anything you have, we're going to put in about 1/4 cup of hot sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, about 1/2 tablespoon of black pepper, and one of my favorite ingredients, I really like limes. I just think it's a wonderful, great, fresh addition to a lot of dishes, but I'm going to use the lime zest. Now you notice I've got my microplane here, and I'm just taking just the outer layer of the lime off. Just like that. Don't get down into what's called the pith, because that is where it gets real bitter, and you don't want that. It's not good. But there's so much flavor just on the outside. I do it over a piece of baking paper, just like this. So all you have to do is pick it up then and dump it right in. You don't have to try to scrape anything, and that's gone. Go on ahead and grab a knife. Cut your lime in half. Now, don't look too closely at the lime. The lime's naked now. You don't want to embarrass it. Cut the lime in half and get the juice of the lime. Squeezed in there. And I know some of you are going to say, no, the word is squoze. I like squeezed better. Get all that lime juice in there, just like that. Make sure that take the ends out, and then we'll whisk that together. And while we're whisking, we're going to emulsify in a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil. What this is doing is it's emulsifying, which means we're combining the vinegar, which is the acid, and the fat, which is the oil, so that it makes a dressing, but it won't separate. Just like that. If you really like lime, you can always use a little bit more acid, a little bit more lime juice. But I'm just going to carefully pour this right over top of all the vegetables, just like this. Toss it all together. You can put this into I always like glass bowls or like a trifle dish with maybe a glass bowl on top of it that will seated on a little bit of ice so it keeps it nice and cold. But it's a great dip. Make sure you cover it up, put it in the fridge, get it nice and chilled, and you're going to have a wonderful dip dish that is something totally different for your next party. We'll get the bowl just like this. I'm a scraper. Get all of the goodness in there, just like that. Set it out there with some tortilla chips. And you have dip for your next party. Well, I'll tell you what, we're out of time for today, but I want to thank you so much for joining us here at the Ingles table. And remember, you can find this recipe, videos, photos, and more on the website at inglestable.com. Until next time, I'll see you online.